Hello, everybody, and welcome to our first session of Mistborne, our Ravenloft Gothic Pirate D&D 5th edition game. So, welcome to everybody who's here for the first time, which is all of you, because this is the first session, so I don't even know why I said that one, but it's lovely to have you all here. And hey, sweet Fatagans, I can see you in the chat, that's really cool to see you here. So, today is going to be a bit more of a relaxed ordeal. We've had some interesting pre-game chats about communal oranges, so that's a good start to this. But we're going to go around and introduce everybody and let you know who they're playing, what exactly their character is, and of course who they are, so you can associate them with the character. So how about we'll go from right and then go all the way around, and that'll be starting off with yourself, Charlie. So if you let us know who your character is, a little bit about their background and their character, and what they look like as well, that'd be a cool thing.
Alright, today I will be playing Farah Reed, who is a relatively tall, mostly human-appearing woman. She is slightly off-color to the point where you would suspect she was perhaps sickly, but she has a relatively strong physique. She wears a red silk shirt tucked into tight black leather trousers, high boots akin to waders. At her waist, she has a short sword. On her head, a captain's hat, very important. Around her neck, she wears a collection of jewelry of all different kinds, from beads to gold coins, and on her fingers, it's much the same. Her face is scarred and torn, and on her arms, when she does roll up her puffy sleeves, you see a number of tattoos, including one that is an eel that curves all the way from her wrist to her elbow. She has an intimidating appearance for sure, and she is a mermaid hunter. That is her main trade.
Yeah, so I think I've got a couple questions for you on that one then, for yourself as well. So,
of course you do, Stephen. Go ahead.
There's the voice. That's the one I was waiting for. We've cracked out the first pirate voice. So, how come you hate them so much, mermaids? That is, what do people know about that, about you, as far as that goes? Because you don't need to reveal your secrets, but what do people say about why you hate them? What's the rumors?
How can you not hate them? They're the worst of the monsters in the deep.
That's fair.
They're all kinds, you know. Monstrous teeth. Beautiful ones that lure you across the bay. And of course there's the Silkies. The ones that change from seal to human. They walk on land and lure you to your death. They're worth a lot of money too if you kill one. A lot of witches and warlocks and wizards need components for their spells, and I'm more than happy to provide for payment.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you very much. So
I often say, dead mermaids have no tails.
There we go.
And I stand by that.
There's the tagline. All right, thank you very much. So that is our brilliant mermaid hunter, Farah. And moving down to Banjalerp with Rahimi, if you want to tell us about your character.
Yes, I am going to be playing Rahimi Feldakar. She is a half-orc witch. She grew up in a port town of insert name here. And her mother was a seamstress who specialized in repairing nets for the fishermen and whatnots that would take to the seas. Sometimes she would also go with them as like an on-duty person. So because of this, Rahimi basically grew up raising herself. She is a bit of a bookworm. She read every book she could get her hands on, so kind of like Belle. Just realized that. Whoops. And eventually she found her way into the woods and found a mentor that taught her alchemy and a bit of magic. But yeah, mostly just like herbalism, alchemy, that kind of thing. So she's very apt with potions and brews and whatnot. But she doesn't sound like your typical witch because, you know, I like broken Italian and Spanish accents. She is 5'11". She has very dark hair with a white strip down the right side. She has these blue-green eyes and dark green skin with some darker green freckles. 2 medium-sized tusks, we'll say. She is kind of thick with 2 C's. She wears a she wears a like wrapping around her chest to keep the girls down, because if you are well endowed, you know that is a thing that needs to happen. With a button-up shirt and a tattered jacket over it, and then she's got a net that kind of represents her mother around her hips over an additionally tattered skirt and a pair of boots. But yeah, and she's got a purse that's got all of her a satchel that has all of her ingredients for alchemical needs.
Okay, brilliant stuff. I mean, yeah, some good life advice there as well, which is what we aim to do on this game in particular, which is great. But yeah, thank you very much. And right, okay, so we're gonna go across here to our good old F91 Vanguard. That's a bit of a mouthful there. Talgrath.
There we go. Can figure out how to unmute myself.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
all right. It's session 0 things, you know.
Yeah. I'm Dan. I'm going to be playing Talgrath, the half-orc fighter. Like many of his kind, he is a large, intimidating presence. Pale green skin with flowing red hair. Unlike myself.
You didn't have to make it sad.
I mean, come on. I'm wearing the hat for a reason, okay?
No, I mean, it's a cool hairstyle choice. It's more because he, for history's sake on this specific thing, he used to have beautiful, long, red flowing hair, and then he lost it. After a cruel
I
curse.
left it somewhere, apparently.
Yeah, he put it on the side if you
small
got
lad you want to take out. If found, please return to.
it. Somebody saw it and was just like, oof, red hair, all right, I'm rocking this. And then he never saw it again.
Oh, dear. Away from Talgrath's beautiful mane, he has worked many years, most of his life, in fact, aboard ships as a marine, working under a particular crew member who I've forgotten the name of because I don't have my notes in front of me, and has found himself without a ship or crew, so he's currently looking for something to do. Oh, he's also not your typical fighter. He's more of a brawler. He prefers to use his fists, as it's the gentleman's way of fighting.
Brilliant
very
stuff.
well.
And I just have a bit. I
Thank
had
you,
a bit of a
thank you.
snafu
I
with
was
the.
trying to figure out what that line was, and I'm like, oh, thank you.
Cool. So yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just messing with the UI right now. So you're seeing some real time tech right now. Because yeah, always fun to have to do. Right. Okay. So. That's what this session's here for. Thank you very much, Dan. That was brilliant. As always, that was amazing. So thank you very much for that. And I'm looking forward to seeing more on Talgrath, that's for sure. So, let us go around to the brilliant Prosper the Unseen.
So, hello, I am Shaksqueer, or Shakes, and I'm playing Prosper the Unseen, who at first glance appears to be a rather tall, at about 6'5", bundle of fabric, because they're rather peculiar and tend to keep this very hidden. So very, very light fabrics, but very wrapped up and covered, because underneath is a tiefling, which is something of a rarity in this land. From the blunted, flat base of their broken, cut-off horns to the very scarred tip of their blunted and scarred tail, they're very, very strange looking. Because when they take down their hood or unwrap any of their wrappings, they're almost like a silhouette, a void cut into the surface of the world, because they are a void tiefling, which basically means they're Vantablack, because I'm obsessed with Vantablack. You can barely see expression on their face. There's just a little pink mouth when they speak, and their eyes are pure white. It's very unnerving. It's like talking to a shadow. They're very, very skinny and very vaguely malnourished, right down to their tiny little hoofykins, which is a word I'm also obsessed with. They have no hair, no eyelashes, nothing. Completely kind of bald because of void. You don't really need hair. And they're almost a professional stowaway at this point. They are vaguely knowledgeable about the sea, although they couldn't tell you where that knowledge comes from. And they just tend to hop from ship to ship, doing odd jobs and entertaining people while trying to go unnoticed and unseen, hence the name.
Brilliant stuff. And let's hope they mostly do go unseen when it comes to certain moments in this campaign, I'm sure. But, I mean, it's going to be interesting to have your own ship's ghost almost in the middle of dark in the night when they're below decks. It's going to be interesting and very, very creepy. So
you could say that they're devoid of hair.
Yes.
And on that note, we're gonna move on up. We're gonna move on up to Humbledore with Nala.
Hi, I'm Alison. I'm going to be playing Nala McCready. She is a human variant barbarian. She was probably childhood playmates with Rahimi because she also grew up in town, insert name here.
Dark Tides.
Until she was stolen away by slavers. After a few years of being raised on the seas in that way, she, with the aid of what she thinks is the Morning Lord, organised a coup and broke free. She returned to land for a short while before having her heart broken and vowed never to set foot on land for too long again. So she returned to the sea, hopefully with her own boat. She is 5'11", roundabout. She's got this wild mane of like tawny curly hair. She wears a very strange necklace, almost like that one. And it seems to be made of like a weird chips of enamel, along with a blue evil eye. She wears fairly plain clothing made of blue fabrics with a brown corset to keep everything nice and tidy and inside, and a furred cape for when it gets cold. Across her back is a large shield with the symbol of the Morning Lord, and at her hip is a whip tipped with gold. She also has a short sword across her back.
Brilliant stuff. That's a very extra whip. I like it. So, with that in mind, that's our very interesting crew. So we're going to go through a few things in this session for those of you watching. So this is going to be more of a session 0 than a true session 1, so to speak. So we're going to define how some of these lovely folks know each other and exactly how they all met. So we'll be going through and deciding on that as we go. But first, I'll tell you a little bit about where we are at the beginning of this tale. So this game is set in a land between lands, so to speak, within Ravenloft. It is an endless ocean that forever expands and changes and shifts around the individuals who have unfortunately had to call this home. The area that all of you are from is a very small island rife with villainy, pirates, and many other types of scum and criminal. It is known very eloquently as Dark Tides. It's a very ominously named place, and very stereotypical, some say, as they speak of it, dark tidings coming, and most people are like, yes, Barry, that's because we're on the island, and the like. There's a lot of that going around throughout this time. However, you found yourself on here in a particular drought of money, of food, of supplies, and things haven't been going too well. Each of you, for whatever reason, are in need of getting out of here, of finding new things, of searching the endless oceans for something to bring back, something to call your own, be it food, gold, or fame. You don't know. So, we're going to go around, and I'm going to pick, let's go with Talgrath, in fact, right below me here. So Talgrath, name one other player that you may know from your time in Dark Tide or before.
Okay. I will go at random.
You're going random? That's also an option. Just roll.
Yes.
It's the coward's way out. Nah, it's cool. So what you got?
I have got Farah.
Farah, okay. So Talgrath and Farah, how would the two of you have come to know each other before all of this happened? What do you think?
I've been around.
Oh no!
I've been to a lot of ports.
Whoa!
A lot of things on the sea.
That's not better. That's not better.
Oh, Talgrath, you
Ain't
might want to
only
be
mermaids
careful.
I've been slaying. Anyway,
Oh,
Talgrath.
the one in every port. That's me.
Sorry. Serious game.
Yeah, okay.
It's very likely they've run into each other at a random port then. Given Talgrath's history of being a marine, he's been to many himself, and will have likely caused a drunken escapade, as he's known to do.
Oh, he likes me a drunken escapade.
Mainly a large bar brawl, let's say.
Yeah, I reckon we had one of those really big bar brawls, and like we just randomly ended up on the same side, and it was like teamwork, dueling bar stools.
Yeah, there was a band playing that was known as the Roaming Mermaids.
I hate that band.
Yeah. So did Talgrath.
I will have none of this glorifying of mermaids.
So the Roaming Mermaids are this sort of traveling band of minstrels that are playing, the tooting on their horns. They're this musicians and things like that, and they're playing along, and they're having a brilliant time, and they're singing songs about beautiful mermaids in the waters. And as they're doing that, Talgrath, you're very drunk at this point, and all you're hearing is insults to you. They're speaking about your fishy tail, and they're talking about your scales, and for some reason this is really getting you tonight. And it's getting you a bit emotional, and so how did you engage in this bar fight, Talgrath, with this in mind?
Given Talgrath and his drunkenness, as he's bad with alcohol, he would have likely just thrown a stool at them, just murmured something about the size of his tusks, and then thrown something at them.
Okay, so you murmured something about that and threw it, and this stool kind of tumbled end over end over end. And could you actually give me a quick range attack check with that?
Sure.
You can have
Are you
advantage for
proficient in
backstory.
throwing stools?
Okay, but that's got a double meaning there if I've ever heard one.
I think got a 20.
All right, so on your 20, Talgrath, you looked over and you exclaimed, your horns are beautiful and rightly sized, and they look a bit confused as you throw over your stool and it hits them directly in the face, and one of them is immediately knocked out on the side, and the other three of the band members who are playing, they stop tooting on their flutes and they all look at you in unison, and they draw blades.
Do they put their flutes away first, or is it like double wielding?
Yeah, like some of them even have their flute up and they just turn it and draw a blade from their
It's
flute.
like a flick blade.
Yes!
The flick
The worst
blade flute.
band.
But
And
yes.
as Talgrath is seeing these blades glint in the flickering candlelight of the seedy back-end bar, there's a sliding of steel from a scabbard. As Farah draws her sword, she's been waiting for an excuse all night. She's really sick of their fucking music. She's of their heckin' music, and she'll charge in.
Sorry, just to double check, are we not allowed to swear? Because
I don't know.
this is a pirate game.
I didn't check.
It's going to make it really hard if I try and put in a Scottish accent and I'm not allowed to
it's
swear.
cool. Yeah, whatever. That's fine. I mean, it's fine. I'll just let me.
Switch
It's
it
all
to
cool.
mature.
Switch it to mature next time. It's cool. I know the difference
Chicken.
now.
Doesn't quite work.
It's cool. It's cool. I mean, with the amount of stuff that goes on. Anyway, yeah, that's fine. So you're fine. It's all good. So yeah, you can swear. I mean, it's a pirate game.
Aye.
It'll slip out regardless. So.
There's double one.
That's what she said. So
Thank you, Charlie.
comes out.
Wow.
Just change that to mature.
Farah stands ready.
All right, yeah, Farah stands ready. And, like, how about the two of you describe this scene as you battle with these, these three musicians who also seem to double as, some sort of thugs. And as you battle through this bar, how did this go down for the two of you?
Given Farah is the one who's engaged first, technically, Talgrath will kind of stumble out of his stool. He's very wasted. And he just shrugs, thinking that it's one of his crewmates. He's got his back. He stands up, cracks his knuckles, and stumbles his way over and just starts throwing fists.
Okay, that's fair. And what about you, Farah? How do you handle dealing with this mermaid band? This glorifies of mermaids.
Sword in hand, climbs up onto a stool and yells, "Bar fight!" and just acrobatics her way across and begins just engaging with one of these minstrels.
Yeah, so these musicians all battle you, and it's a mighty battle, and as soon as you exclaim, "Bar fight," pretty much the entire bar of Dark Tides, like one of the probably like tens of taverns here, just all immediately erupts into a fight. There's
midway
cups
through,
flying.
as one grabs like a bottle to like glass someone, Farah's just gonna take a swig, and then hand it back so they can carry on. But you don't waste the rum on the way through. You need a little bit sometimes.
That's understandable. Great. Yeah, so that happens, and like the person who's doing it, like, and then you take it away, and they just kind of hand it back and go, "Thank you," and then continue with their fight, and seem completely unperturbed. So that is how the two of you met for the first time before all of this happened. So we'll move straight on, and we'll go down to Prosper. So Prosper, who did you meet out of Rahimi and Nala first?
I'm gonna go randomly as well.
Okay, no problem. That's all good.
This is the perfect
Okay,
method.
so it's Rahimi.
Oh, yes, hello.
I did tip. Because I'm a child. It works.
Whatever floats your boat. Get used to it, guys. It's gonna happen a lot.
Okay, so how would the two of you have met, do you reckon? How do you think, where do you think you'd have stumbled into each other? What's your story?
Well,
Prosper skulks a lot.
Rahimi's been trying to keep a low profile, so chances are probably might have met in like some strange random place. Oh, I see you're also trying to not stand out.
So
Yeah, Rahimi ducks into an alleyway and Prosper's there like, occupado.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I will turn. I will go find a different alley. Are you okay?
There's room. There's a room, and just backs up against the wall.
yeah, there's like a collection of boxes in this alley, and like aside from that, there is, from what you can see, perhaps a person. You're unsure. It might be a shadow talking to you at the back of an alley that slinks away suddenly. It's disconcerting.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Is there someone there? That's not gonna do. Nope.
It's all right. It's good for the
Good effort,
screenshots, and then after that, you can take a risk.
Yeah. Is there someone over there?
Yes. So long as that doesn't involve pain, yes.
I
Good
prefer
answer.
not to cause pain.
Then I'm here.
You're very obscured.
Yes.
10 out of 10 on that
This
one.
is the most awkward meeting though, because she's just like, I don't.
Like,
She's not good with people.
just against the wall, like, no.
like suddenly a horror movie. Is not that I have any room to ask, but is there a reason you're over here by yourself?
The same reason I suppose you're over here by yourself, avoiding other people. Apart from
you're
me.
not wrong. I've got a condition sometimes that I really don't wish for many other people to see. So
I have that condition all the time.
Oh. I mean, considering you're basically one with the shadows right now, I think you're succeeding.
Thank you. Just like steps forward like a little bit, which doesn't really help, but now there's more of a like apparent person shape, sort of. Like when you look at a 3D picture and suddenly it kind of focuses a little.
Yeah. Yeah.
Prosper the optical illusion. One way it's a rabbit, the other way it's a person. I don't know.
Oh man, no. So, just curious because maybe you might know things. The shadows always know things. Do you happen to know of a way to, I don't know, leave this place, this whole area? I would like to find a new place to be.
Well, to get out of the alley, you turn around and go that way.
I don't mean the alley. I mean I'd like to find a new island where nobody knows me.
Boats.
And it's about that time that you see a sort of rather drunken gentleman just kind of stumble towards the alley, bottle in hand, singing a song as he walks over towards it. And he just kind of sees you and goes, "Is this occupied?"
Occupado.
Very.
I got you. You say and just stumbles away into the distance.
But, yes, so you say boats. I do know of boats that do exist. I was just curious if maybe you knew of one that might be leaving soon.
There's usually boats leaving, as much as there are boats coming in. It depends on how long until they find you on the boat, really.
Yes,
Sometimes they bring you back.
But I'm not really getting any answers. Sorry. So I guess I'll just head to the port.
No, there's a shortcut if you can climb this wall.
Okay, I guess I will try.
You just kind of go up and then that way. You'll see it. There are boats.
She just kind of like keeps an eye on the shadowy person as she walks over to the fence and tries to like climb over the thing without like
Sure.
being completely immodest.
Could you give me an athletics check, please?
Sure.
Frostfur just stands by the wall and watches. Like I'd give you a boost, but you'd snap me.
That's so precious. You'd snap me. Like, oh.
Wait, sorry.
They're very, very, very skinny.
Yeah, that's true.
Made of toothpick.
No, he did not just call me. This person did not just call me. No, did not call me fat. No.
Okay, yeah, you managed to kind of scramble up onto the wall. You scramble elegantly. You modestly
lovely.
scramble, you could say, as you manage to make it onto the top with a bit of dust on you, but aside from that, you're all right. And indeed, you do see sort of a long row of very rickety-looking rooftops all the way along towards where there are ships in the distance in the harbour. The sort of familiar mists rolling over in the distance that are forever there in this place.
Now that you're up there, can you give me a hand? He just reaches up like.
I can certainly try. I don't promise anything.
Okay. So, either of you can give me an athletics checks with advantage, because you are aiding another, technically. So, we got this. We can do 5e rules.
My athletics is not good.
I mean, you see how good mine is.
Mine's the same.
Who's feeling lucky?
Yeah, basically.
You know what? Sure.
All right.
I'll take it.
All right, let's do this. Well, that's a crit. Okay, cool. So, so you kind of lean over, Rahimi. You get ready to lift this individual up, and you do lift. You lift a lot quicker than you expect. It seems this person is incredibly light, and you immediately pull them up, and they land very elegantly at the top. It's beautiful, almost.
And at this point, possibly because we're now in a slightly more lit area, what with not being in the corner of a dark alley, something just slightly sweeps behind Prosper before going very still again. It's a there and gone moment, but there's definitely something not kosher there.
You weren't wrong about me possibly snapping you in two. But are you also going to the ships then?
I just wanted to get out of that alley, but sure.
Oh, that's fair.
I mean, I'm not going anywhere else, so that's fine.
All right. Shall we then?
Okay.
After you.
And with that, a beautiful kind of friendship on the rooftops is formed. Under the moonlight, the red moon that is lit above very ominously in the sky, shining down upon all of you, as a beautiful friendship is formed. Awesome.
What a beautiful, awkward friendship it is.
Yeah, it's like the most awkward but amazing.
Pretty much what you'd expect when a Canadian and a British person meet. It's very polite and very, very
you
shy.
know.
Yeah, I think we're doing great things for Canadian British relations in this session.
Yeah.
I think this is a beautiful thing. So finally, last but not least, Nala. Now, I'm gonna call you're gonna meet Farah on this one because you're directly opposite, and I like this symmetry. So, so Nala, Farah, how did you meet?
Probably met on a beach.
Sure.
I think that Petty Pete decided to try and steal something from Nala. Because that is what Petty Pete is wont to do.
While you were looking for fishtails in the water.
I was on the lifeguard duty.
So
Wow.
you both found yourself one day on the rundown and very grim beach of
Dark Tides Baywatch.
Dark Tide Baywatch. Yeah, you find Dark Tide Baywatch. So in Dark Tide Bay,
Love Island ever.
it's pretty much just as grim as the real one, if it helps. But so you're stood on this kind of long stretch of beach, this mist rolling into distance. You've got this sort of dirty-looking sand underfoot, and you're looking for anything that you could see, as far as you could see.
I seize the sea.
You seize the sea.
The bottom of the deep blue sea.
Exactly. So, but
She sells seashells on the seashore.
but
To be sure.
But Petty Pete, your very loyal seagull friend and enemy and rival and life companion.
You've met him then.
Yeah. Petty Pete kind of leaves for a while, and it's a short time later that Petty Pete arrives with what looks to be a strange-looking necklace in its beak, and it just kind of lands and just looks again as miserable as the seagull always looks, as it just looks up at you and then looks back at the ocean.
What you got there, Pete?
It looks over at you and then just looks away at the ocean again, seemingly telling you, at least in your mind, Petty Pete has said he's acquired an item from a distant land.
I see you found some buried treasure, and she'll scoop it up. Look it over in the grey, misty light. I like it. And she puts it up. Thank you, Pete. It's very generous of you.
Meanwhile, Nala, you were wandering the beach, and you had your evil eye necklace in hand at the time, and you were looking at it as you heard a screech of a seagull, and as you looked up to try and find it, one swooped in from the opposite side, as Petty Pete took your necklace, and this seagull just flapped off into the distance across the beach. And as you've sort of followed it, you can see it lands nearby an interesting-looking lady who's looking out in the ocean.
I'd like to rage.
You can rage.
And I'll probably go storming on over.
Okay.
With my, I'll draw my short sword.
See, so Farah, you hear a stomping noise as somebody full-on paddies over to you in a rage. And you hear stomping of footsteps and the jingling of armor as you see a very angry-looking lady. Sort of
I'd be
wild hair.
careful if I were you. The brine will do nothing good for your armor.
Give it back. Now.
Give what back?
What your bloody bird just took.
I ain't got a bird.
I point my sword at the seagull that's just looking all chill on your shoulder.
The seagull just kind of starts to like peck at it a bit. It's like, what's this?
Pete, you wee bastard, you set me up again. And she'll take off the necklace. I'm sorry, he likes to do this when he wants attention.
Pete looks at you as if to say, "Nay, I have not deceived you. It was from a distant land of over there."
Well,
You hear in only your mind.
the only attention your bird is ever gonna get, if it takes anything of mine again, is its beak snapping off.
Don't you be threatening Pete now.
Don't take my stuff.
I didn't take your stuff.
Keep better control of your bloody bird, and she puts it back on.
Off you go, clinking clanking. Now I've got your accent, look what's happened.
Sign of flattery, as they say. What's your name anyway? Why are you wandering around here with the bird that likes to steal necklaces?
I'm Farah.
No, you're quite close.
No, that's my name.
Oh, right. Farah. Nala. McCready. Pleased to meet you.
Yar.
So spent a lot of time on the seas then?
It's the local greeting.
Yeah, indeed, yes.
I hunt monsters.
Monsters?
Aye.
What kind?
Terrible things from the deep.
Go on. How about you tell me about these terrible monsters over a drink?
I like you. I'm glad I gave you back your necklace now.
Oh, so you did take it, not your bird.
No, but I agree that it is yours and you can have it back.
I'm only playing with you. And she sheathes the sword. Come on.
My sword.
I know there's space in this hellhole. Been here long enough.
Oh, that's unlucky.
I mean, I could take you to the worst if you want.
Aye, that's my kind of place.
She gives you a grudging nod. And we go to the singing shanty, because it's a crap hole.
Sounds fair to me. You go to the singing shanty.
Wait,
It is a.
Before we go to the singing shanty, who plays at the singing shanty?
Well, I've seen this tall fella. He's real big. Never shows his face, but he can sing a good tune. And he
Really?
always seems to disappear when there's a fight. Just quite mysterious. He might be one of them
Right.
sea folk that you talked about.
You mean like the sea mist ghosts?
Yes. Sure, that.
You not heard about the sea mist ghosts?
You know, I've heard a lot of tales on the sea. Not, well, a little bit about ghosts, but not much.
Well, let me tell you. And she'll start telling you this great and epic tale about the time she was on the high seas, and this rolling mist came up on the boat, and out of the mist emerged the dead pirates.
And yeah, as you're telling this, she like nods along, like trying to think that you're not a crazy person, and wondering what exactly hit you on the head.
Just give me a willpower.
Because it's
Give me a
very
wisdom
much
save for that
like-
now.
Play GM. A 7.
All right, on a 7, you definitely don't resist the thought that she's crazy. It is an active effect.
Screws loose. Few screws loose. Do-do-do. Just start singing herself a little song.
But other than that, you have an interesting night, to say the least, as the two of you go over to the singing shanty and have a delightful old time there, and get to know each other a little better. So, we're gonna then go with... we're going with Talgrath again, because he was one of the first ones. Talgrath, can you flip a coin? Or do the counting, like Shakes did?
I have a small technical question. How hot is Nala?
It's all dependent on perspective. She looks very strong in the face. She's quite built in the muscles. Got quite an imposing presence. She looks a bit like a lion.
Oh, with a lot of rum in the system, that's pretty hot.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Was anyone else thinking first date when?
Yeah, no, I thought so too. Yeah, no, I shifted the minute was give me back my stuff.
Bit of a weird way to start a romance, but here we
Back my
are.
stuff, romance music plays immediately.
You know, she's a few
Suddenly
very short
Foster
of a
just
pig.
appears
She's
with a
not
violin.
bad, really.
Nala's like, I think she's crazy, and Farah's like, I'm crazy about her.
It's very tsundere, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, she's gonna keep my boat if I leave
love
her.
it.
So
Aye.
Okay, so with shipping aside... Talgrath.
I got a heads on my coin flip.
Okay, so that'll be 1. So that'll be Shax and yourself. So that'll be Prosper, the unseen, and Talgrath, the very drunk.
He's not always drunk.
It's not as good a title, but it's a work in progress.
So is he Captain Talgrath Sparrow?
You know what? You can have inspiration for that because it hurt. So
Dope! Inspiration on the first session! I'm sorry.
it was painful enough that I needed something to offset it. So I think this is fine.
I'll mute myself now.
Okay, so Talgrath and Prosper. How did the two of you be?
Well, as aforementioned by Nala, thank you. Prosper does occasionally pick up a bit of extra coin, just playing rather too quietly at the back of some of the less rowdy pubs. Kind of almost like they're not trying to draw any attention, just getting like a couple of coins. But then as soon as anything happens, like a door slams too loudly or like someone has harsh words, it's like, nope, where'd they go?
I just love that Prosper's like music genre is elevator music. That just it's like blend the background, ambience.
It's literally just like you know, sometimes you're in a cafe and someone's like humming along to music in their earphones. It's very
Yeah.
quiet, but you can hear it. It's like that. They're just sat at a table somewhere, like occasionally tapping their fingers on a drum they're very clearly not using. Just singing very quietly under their breath, hoping no one hears them, but also hoping someone gives them some money.
Sure, could you give me a performance check on that?
Yes, I can. There's a 14.
Brilliant stuff. That is more than enough for these people. You do get a few tips. You gain a good, not too much. This place is quite poor, but you do gain a good 7 copper as they tip you as they go. Some of the drunkards kind of walk by and they go, "It's pretty all right. That is. It's pretty good. Here you are." They say, and they give you a good 2 coppers, and one of the other one goes down and says, "Oh, that's my favourite song," one of them says as they drop off another couple of coins. And another one just comes over and goes, Aye, that's good," and then gives you a couple of coins as well. And that's it.
There's a lot of nodding and just the hoods just going further and further down. Thank you. Thank you.
I guess Talgrath will be among these gentlemen, staying up and tipping the bard. He will saunter up, actually sober for once. It's not a rowdy pub, so he's not drunk, not yet. Aye, you did well. You would give the sirens a run for their money in many years. As he will.
Don't they eat people? I don't eat people. I
Not-
don't know
not-
what you've heard, but I
Not
don't eat
the
people.
eating part.
Oh. Thank you. I think.
I love how the compliment just flopped. I'm gonna say something nice. Damn it, not again, Talgrath. Foiled.
He will tip a good old silver because he's very impressed.
Thank you. You sure that's the right? Thanks. Okay. And it just
No problem.
disappears into the folds. Just like.
Awesome. So that is how you met then, I'm imagining. It's just a very
Pretty
passing
much.
thing. It's quite nice. It's quite pleasant,
Yeah,
actually.
It seems though Nala has mentioned that this person is quite well known, like a shadowy kind of person that hides and plays music randomly.
Oh my god, I'm Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, you know that's getting played on.
No, what's weird is that I actually have several Phantom of the Opera things written down on my little prep notes. Oh no.
Oh, that's amazing.
How did I not see that?
Now we have to figure out who Christine is.
Prosper wouldn't
Oh, you've
strangle
got a
anyone.
lovely singing voice.
Yar har!
And just immediately just like no, Prosper wouldn't ghost on Farah at first. the seagull, yes, but not Farah.
That's completely understandable. And so
That's fair. I relate.
So, speaking of that, we will also go with Rahimi and Nala for one of these. So, how did the two of you meet beforehand?
Well, do I have access to a boat yet?
Not yet. As of yet, you probably don't have a ship. You're probably trying to work on it, Nala. You're probably working a few different things, seeing if you can find a boat and, one that you can get ready to go.
I like the idea that you both grew up on that island. And you
Yeah,
both
and I'm like,
have different
hey!
accents. Like,
Yeah.
one's from, like, the west side of the island, one's from the east side.
Yeah, she grew up on the other side of the tracks. It's fine.
Maybe I hear you talking to a shopkeep about something, and I just come over to you like, oh, you're a southerner.
I mean, I know that she did go to like a baker's stand to get bread every day. So
Yeah, I meet you at the baker's stand.
And out of curiosity,
Could I get one loaf of bread?
okay.
Oh no.
So, what would the bread store, the bakery, be called? Do you reckon? What do you think? In a place called Dark Tides.
Just
It's
bread.
called Dark Tides.
Just bread.
Just bread.
The
I like
loaf.
that. Yeah.
The loaf.
Best buns.
One sheaf.
I think the loaf
It
is a very
hasn't got caffeine, we swear.
Oh, what if it's loaf tide?
Oh!
Fancy meeting you at the loaf tide.
Is this like when we're adults now? Or
I mean, that's
Is
up
this
to
when-
you. This could
we're
be
kids
earlier
or
if you
adults?
want. Like, what do you two think? Do you want this to be
'Cause
younger,
you-
or do you want this to be older?
I think it would be a cool to be a kind of like. How old is your character present day?
two.
Two? That's a
I
bit
think
young.
she's 20.
2. Probably like mid-teens then.
Okay.
And we're like on a different island, and we just managed to stumble into each other. Like, oh, you also come from insert name here.
Is that just the name of the town now?
It's called
I-
Incerite, actually.
Yes.
Yes.
Hi. Southern side, yes.
Yes. Well, how do you? Wow. Do you come from?
I do. No, I come from the
Dang
north. I think my accent is slipping in.
It's pretty catching, actually. Yes. But yes, I do come from Inserte.
Yeah, that's because of the ridiculous name, obviously.
It's now Incerite. Anyway, so Incerite is a very interesting
Incerite,
place
yeah.
with a very long history of war between the different sides of Incerite. And so each one of them has a very different culture and a very different accent. And yeah, there's a lot of clicking going on.
And we just fight on the proper way to say the island name.
Yeah.
Inserte, yeah.
Yeah, because there's obviously Incerite from like one of the sides. Yeah, there's Insert, and the other one is, of course, Insert.
Are you from Insert? I try to not make a habit of running into people from Inserte, but you know, sometimes it happens.
You look like the type not to try and run into anyone, really.
You know, that's fair.
She gives you a little bit of a smile, like trying to hide which side of the island you really came from, because you're not doing a job, love.
Meanwhile, as you're
It's a
stood,
big mystery.
at the outside of the, the loaf tide, the lady who sat behind it, sort of an aging lady. She's got like a big bonnet of hair. She's got, she's got like a massive stick through it that seems to be made of fish bone, and she's got a few loaves just laid on the side, and each of them has a stamp on it, like a toasted stamp, that just, it shows a tide, and it just says the loaf tide, in
It's a maker's mark.
sort of a dramatic signature. And this lady's sort of a bit shorter, and looks up at you and goes,
I appreciate that you're talking about your home, but are you going to buy some bread? Only you're holding up the queue.
All right, Meridia, calm your
My
tits.
name's Maggie. You should remember
Whatever.
that well. Or
Miss
else you're
Maggie,
not
I would
getting
like
it.
to buy one loaf, please.
Good, Rahimi. I'm glad you're back. You're lovely. I like you. You get the good loaf.
she says, and she gives you the good loaf of bread, and she kind of looks at you, Nora, and goes,
You get the other one.
she says, and
Yeah,
gives you
she
one that looks a
crosses
bit
her arms
wonky.
and like her muscles are on show.
Aye, that's
I
mighty
didn't expect
impressive.
anything else from you, you hag.
Aye, well,
Come
you
on
keep calling
then,
me
give me
that.
the burnt ends.
Hey, I'll give you them burnt ends. And you know what else I'll do? If you don't keep getting your bread, you're gonna lose those muscles, so you can flex them, young lady, as much as you like. But if you don't treat me proper,
Yes, because
You
the
can always
nutritional value of your bread is really superior, especially when it's been carbonized. And I just hold up a bit of the black loaf.
I have
If
no
you
idea
get-
what that means.
Yeah, and me neither. It sounded quite fancy in my head.
If you get the good bread, it's usually much better tasting. Just saying.
Exactly.
Bad tasting food builds good character, especially for my man. So, and I just slip over a copper,
Nice tasting. Thank you, love.
and I turn to her, go, my crew, on my ship.
Oh,
She gives me
okay.
a pat on the shoulder.
There was no judgment, but I was very impressed. Is the word?
Right.
Um,
Well, you know, islander to islander. Are you looking to get off of here?
always.
And my work here is done.
Yeah, that is like,
Should hit on every single one of y'all.
that is,
doesn't get
Try and find me.
yeah, that is literally a slogan of this island as well. Do you want to get off of here? Always. Dark tides, visit and leave very fast.
Oh,
Come for the
my
shores.
goodness.
Stay because you can't leave.
It's like the Hotel California, but without room service.
Oh my god, this is the biggest. Nope. Can't say it. We're on stream. Nope. I'll just put it in chat.
Type it to me in private chat.
Yeah, that's
Oh
fine.
no, I'm going to tell you all what it is. I'm just,
Oh.
you know.
Okay. Anyway, so with that in mind, as you've all met each other in some way or form, and each of you have met two people, we're going to move forward and try and get you all together. So we're going to try and knit this together. So the best bit is I'm not reading this chat right now. So this.
Yeah, that's right.
So I have no context for this, but I'm gonna soldier on and DM. So.
Oh
So, as you've all been roaming about and you've all been trying to find your ways off the island or finding different ways to earn money, everything seems to be coming to a bit of a low. But Nala, you finally receive a letter of sorts from one of the dockmasters who is called simply Ol Murphy. And he's sent you a letter that simply says, I found you a boat. It has a cost, but it's a boat. In his letter, he's written that as well, and it's very ominous writing.
And I look at the letter going, that's some weird fucking squiggles. And then she'll kind of look for the numbers. She's okay with numbers. She just doesn't do letters much. They didn't teach her to read in slave school.
Oh, okay, fair enough. In which case, it completely doesn't make sense to
you. What's that you got there, Narla?
Oh, Narla.
It's Nala.
Aye.
Ah, not R.
Yar.
Yeah, sure.
Narla.
No, it's numbers. I show her the letter.
I'm just checking. Oh, it turns out I'm mighty stupid too. Never mind. I look at it as if I know what it says. It says, I've seen a few messages in a bottle in my time. But this is real something. It says here, boat. I know that word, boat.
Yes.
Boat.
Best guess. Old Salty has a boat for me. So.
And I think it's about that time that Talgrath, you wake up from a barrel that's literally next to them, like you're in it. You've been absolutely drunk out of your head, and you're hearing boat, 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 and you're just like, wait, I need to get out of here. Boat, boat,
Somebody say something about a boat.
says the barrel that's beside the two of you.
Oh, what they put in pickles nowadays?
This
I'll
must
go
be a
over to-
bloody big barrel.
Yeah. I open up the barrel.
They have a
and
lot
look
of
down.
alcohol on this island.
Hello there. Would you mind helping me out? I'm rather stuck.
First thing, you smell like shite. Come here, and I hold out my hand.
Yeah, he's been sealed in.
Who? How did you get in here?
A lot of things happen while I'm drunk.
Just
Hashtag
from a
Greece.
corner, there's a
Yeah.
little mutter of, he's been in there a while, actually.
It was actually quite impressive to see him get in there.
Oh, what bloody convention is this?
Wait, I knows that voice. Talgrath! And she like bangs on the lid.
Oh,
Ah, it's the mermaid killer.
Aye!
Sure, but
See, I told you I killed mermaids, Nala.
yes, you've done a lot of that while I've known you.
I
Really,
thought
really.
about saying something when they sealed him in, but
What were
they
they
were being
saying?
very loud.
Oh, well, sorry, dear. Now, pet, let's get us out.
I'll hand you one of my daggers to use to like, with the idea that you would use it
Yeah.
like as leverage. But you go ahead and do what you're about to do, because
I'm either gonna be like really cool or really lame. I'm gonna rage and then just try and rip it apart with my hands.
Yeah, sure. Could you just give me an athletics check on that, please? With advantage, of course, because it's a strength check. So
Sure. 15.
brilliant. You know what? This barrel it's tightly stuffed with Talgrath. So I'd say that it's already sort of waning at its seams, and you sort of grab it and just rip it apart, and the boards just fly off in all distances, and you just see Talgrath sort of hunched up.
I pick him up by his elbows until he straightens out and then just plop him on the floor. There.
Thank you.
Welcome. Manners. Such a rarity nowadays.
I feel like that was an aim at Farah.
Shots fired.
see, Pete, she's talking about you.
Yes.
I do
just sort
believe
of
that my
like-
manners are
sort of
indeed
like-
very, very eloquent.
Do that with the
Lady
necklace.
Farah, says Pete to your mind and no one else.
Aye.
Prosper notices the bird and just climbs on top of a piece of furniture. Just like, nope.
You're already tall enough without jumping on furniture.
Yeah, not only is it a bird, it is a sea devil.
Sea devil. It's a sea rat.
It's a sea rat.
They're not nice. They steal food out of my And I don't
this
have a
one
lot.
stole me necklace, so
You can't eat a necklace. That's not as bad.
I mean, you can eat anything if you try hard enough.
That's true.
You
Hi.
not without after effects. It's got.
That's fair.
Also true.
so
I mean, you can eat seagulls if you're desperate enough, but I'd rather
No,
not repeat that
no,
experience.
no. That's very bad luck.
That was a text from my husband.
Of course,
Sorry.
it's really bad luck. It gives you shit something awful.
right.
Boat.
Speaking
Sorry,
of,
you're talking
right,
about boats.
what are you all doing around here, lurking?
I was waiting for the place to empty so I could leave.
Like the Silence motto, I'm waiting to get off.
All right.
And
I mean,
out,
same.
presumably.
I'm guessing your poor wife is want to get off as well, and she looks at you, Prosper.
Off this piece of furniture, but I just got up here.
Right.
have a
Well,
wife?
have a good day. I'm off to get my boat.
You have a boat.
Our boat.
You
I'm
both
still
have a
figuring
boat.
out what you contribute to this relationship, Farah.
The rum. And the good stories.
That's a good contribution.
Thank you, Talgrath. Grath. I'm sorry, I can't read.
Neither can I.
Wait, Prosper, your name was.
Yes. Or yes.
Can you read?
Yes.
Meanwhile, Rahimi's like over in the corner just watching us with a book in her hand.
It's like
We don't ask
Salty
Southerners for
Sea
help.
Dogs and busty babes. Like classic.
I
It's
can
called a
read
picture
them-
book.
It's a,
I,
there are pictures. It might be a journalism book. You don't know.
It's the Hungry
the
Caterpillar is the one you've
ABCs
got.
of sailing.
Yeah.
She'll write that book for you guys.
I can read and clean and reach things down off high shelves.
Very useful skills.
Other
Sounds
stuff
like a
too, but
cabin boy to me.
Or
Deck swab.
maybe even
or
a potential quartermaster. Reading?
No, that's my
Right.
job.
You can't read or write. We need someone
What's that got to do with quartering? Or
We only share
mastering?
one brain cell between us. Please help us.
okay, well 3 brain cells is better than 2, I guess. And Prosper climbs
Yeah.
down off the armoire or whatever it is.
Yeah, you
And
kind
you
of
just
agilely
said-
make your way off of like the discarded random bits of furniture from a bar. Like they seem to have been thrown out last night, and there is like a collection of chairs and tables and like an armoire on the top of it that you're just kind of like on.
Just kind of shuffles over to stand by Nala.
Right. Well, first test. What's on this? And she shows you the letter.
What is it written in?
Written in common.
Okay, then I can read it. What does it say again?
It basically says that there is a ship that has been, a boat that has been found, and that they need to attend to the docks and see Ol Murphy about this boat. However, the boat has a cost.
There's a
I will literally just read out the letter in a fairly deadpan voice.
Yeah, it's much less dramatic, but like... but it actually gets the information across better, if anything. So,
Very efficient.
like, he's put in asterisks, like, in creepy voice and things like that, obviously.
I
put stage
literally just
directions
read them
in.
out at the end, like asterisks in creepy voice.
What's an asterisk?
It's this little star
I'm
shape.
drawing a diagram later.
It's this little star shape.
Right. I look at Farah like, please stop. Well, if you're not opposed to a bit of work, I suppose you can come along then, Mr. They Prosper. Just Prosper?
Just Prosper.
Right. And what about you? She looks at Talgrath.
Oh, me.
Have we got him out of the barrel yet?
Are you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you
Oh,
still
good.
drunk?
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
Rick-
I'm
down.
very much sober.
Right. Well, a night in a barrel might do that to you. Depending on what you're steeping in.
I already know. Several days in a barrel full of dregs is not a good idea.
Right. Have you got any other skills besides putting away all that alcohol?
I can punch things real well, and I know how to man a ship.
Punch me.
All right?
And Prosper moves away.
This is how she says hello.
Okay, Talgrath, could you just, you don't need to really roll a hit, because, I mean...
Oh, no, I'm testing him.
Oh, you're actually going to try and dodge this. In which case, then roll me an attack check, please.
Prosper is now hiding
A
behind
17.
Beats.
Cool. So does he hit?
Well, are we doing meat defend or we're doing meat hits?
Yeah, defender wins, is generally
Alright.
how I go with it.
Basically, she'll just catch his fist.
Okay.
And just turn it to the side and wait for the next one.
You catch his fist and, like, the spiked knuckles bite into you slightly.
Don't flinch.
Damn.
Again. Not bad strength.
Oh, you sound like my teacher. Oh no, I got an 8.
As you speak the words of my teacher.
She'll parry and sort of go for her own punch to the face.
Sure.
Prosper
Well,
is now
this
like
is-
inside the armor.
Is it just a strength check? Because I'm not.
Yeah, you're not proficient, so will this be your
That's
strength
right.
check?
I 14.
Unfortunately, that misses.
So there's like the
Farah
two of you
scoops
having
up-
this like Dragon Ball Z battle on the docks as you're like da 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 da, and both not hitting each other.
Yeah, I'll like sort of fly past his head and bring it
That's
back
cool.
and just sort of like stand there. All right, not a bit of strength. Maybe when you get sobered up, you can hit me.
Aye, my arms aren't feeling too great, having been kept in a barrel all night.
It's a good excuse.
Are you
Thank you.
done?
Oh, come
are
out,
you
dear.
done?
It's okay. Come on.
Okay. He opens the armor.
I'm
and
not gonna
climbs
ask you
down
to
again.
fight. Don't worry.
Farah's scooped up Pete and she's like halfway out the door.
You're not getting on the
That's
boat
alright.
if you leave.
First one to see the man about the boat gets the boat.
You don't know what he looks like.
Oh, that's not stopped me before.
You know, you're right, and I'm annoyed that you're right. And what about you, Southerner?
Oh, I figured, since I was a southerner, you didn't want my assistance in anything.
Well, you get good bread.
That is fair.
I'll
I do
give
get
you
good bread.
that.
You are the
She's
breadwinner.
she's very strong.
You're the breadwinner of the family.
um, but if you would have me, I would love to vacate the island as soon as I could.
Well, what can you do?
Well, I'm quite skilled with alchemy. I know a lot about herbs and other assorted things. So if you needed something for like scurvy, I might have it.
My next question: are you good with disease? And how touchy-feely can you be with the crew?
In what regard?
Diagnosing.
Oh, that is. I should be fine for that, actually. But
I'll be there by your side if they try anything funny. Don't worry.
Just
I mean,
taking
that-
slow
that-
steps back towards the armor.
I just put my arm around Prosper. No. Come on.
They just they do, the full body curl where they're just like
Yeah.
trying to get away from the
Yeah.
contact just without
Oh, yeah.
saying anything, just like,
it's like that cat that just doesn't want to be held. Please no, stop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like when they turn to liquid and they're like trying to get out.
yeah. You try and pick a cat up and it becomes a croquet who just like, no.
I'm also quite well versed in language as well.
I'm not, so it'd be helpful.
I figured, in case Prosper is ever sleeping, maybe I could do the reading as well.
I look at your book of squiggles. That's good. Ooh,
And maybe
pictures.
teach you to read,
Pictures.
if you so desire.
No, I don't like being condescended.
It's not. You know what?
Southerners.
Ignorance is bliss. That's fine.
How do you know all these long words?
Had it beaten into me. Just can't read. They
Right.
like our slaves to be eloquent,
That's true.
Anyway, we gotta go and find this bloke, old Murphy.
Right. So let's go. Let's go.
So as
Prosper is just following Nala like
Authentic
a very,
Italian.
kind of tall kitten,
Yeah.
just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. I'll occasionally like turn around to make sure he's still there and give you an encouraging smile, which kind of looks like a cat-like grin, but she's trying.
And Prosper will kind of stop and wait for you to turn around and keep walking again, and then keep following.
Okay, cool. So you eventually all make it over towards the Dark Tide docks as you make your way there, and you see many ships in there. Some of them are like already sinking as you get there, but one in particular at the very edge of the area. There's an older-looking gentleman there. He seems to be a dwarf, and he has a big long beard that he's got in multiple different braids, and all of them are different shades of grey. And he kind of adjusts his glasses and looks up towards you as you're going nearby. And he has a little sign next to him that seems to be collapsible that just says Old Murphy on it that he's got put down.
Oh, more squiggles.
Prosper
Our
just like
namesake boat.
points over Nala's shoulder to the sign, like,
Oh, wonderful. See? And she pats your hand.
oh, okay. Don't do that.
Okay.
Bad touch.
Sorry, I just think if I touch you, you might disappear, and I'm just a bit afraid, if you will.
I won't disappear. I might go away, but I won't disappear.
All right.
Can't do that. That I know of.
Hidden skill. Come on then. Actually, I'll turn to Rahimi. You know, Silver Tongue Southern and all that. Do you want to go and deal with this? We know you like to haggle.
I mean, I really don't haggle. I just treat them with respect.
Oh, and apparently that works. Funny world. And she's like shuffling you forward.
Okay. Greetings. You must be.
Greetings. He says dramatically as he kind of sweeps his hand around and looks at you in the eye, and his sort of multiple, braids just jiggle around at the same time and settle.
Well, that's quite a... Jesus, fuck. That's
What
quite
can
an
I do for
aesthetic. So, I believe a person over there was sent a letter about a boot.
Are you alright? You started to be having accent troubles. I have a book for that if you need it.
No, I think I'm alright, but thank you.
Well, if you ever need it, let me know.
We just need a boat.
A boat, you say?
He says and kind of turns to the side dramatically again and then turns back and you hear lightning crash in the distance.
Prosper just like looks over to where he looked like nothing there.
I might have a boat for you, but it comes with a cost.
And as he says that again, there's like crash of thunder in the distance.
Right,
Sam.
that is what the letter said.
The cost of the boat is quite grave, but it's a good ship. It'll see us safely across the waters out there and away from this place known as Dark Tide.
He says as again there's a crash of thunder in the distance.
Yeah. I tap on Rahimi's back at this point and just tap on my wrist like you would a watch.
Okay, so what is the cost and where is the ship?
Well, the cost is grave.
Right, and what is the grave cost?
Alright, whose grave? Whose grave are we digging? Because it's going to be yours if you don't hurry up.
I don't appreciate this, but seems as though you're so nice.
He says and looks at you, Rahimi.
Now, take a step back.
The boat is over here.
He says and kind of leads you over as he starts waddling over. He takes his sign with him, he collapses it and puts it in his pocket and begins to run over. And he takes you over to the side and you see a quite nice looking ship, actually. It is a little beaten up. It seems to have had a bit of trouble out on the ocean, but Other than that, it looks doable. It is still floating, which is a very good sign of a ship. And its sails have patches on it of like multiple different fabrics where they've patched it up very quickly, but it's all done. And at the front of it, there is what seems to be a massive rooster mounted to the front.
Sorry, Angie has to suppress something. This is not Rahimi.
Yep.
Okay.
We're all grown-ups here.
There is
Yes.
option.
100%.
We're
I
all
also
thinking
have
exactly the same
a
thing.
skull, he says, and kind of gestures to the side, and there is like another one that he can pop on there for you, which is a skull. So you get to choose the rooster or the skull to mount your
Oh
ship.
no, please.
No, we're keeping
I like the cock.
Yes, Farah, we know.
God damn it. But yeah, so he goes, well, the course, that's what I was needing to speak to you about. This vessel is fine, and it will travel across the ocean very well.
Right. And
It'll
you were
take you
getting
from
to the
these
cost of it.
oceans.
Sorry.
I mean, it's rude to interrupt, but fine, he says in kind
I've heard it the same like 3 times.
Well, if you'd maybe let me finish, I could probably have given you it better, but fine. In that case,
Wait,
fine.
don't you work at the loaf?
No, he says. He sort of hides his
Uniform.
low-tied uniform.
I have an actual game
Tucks a
question.
name badge back
Yes, of course.
into
Game
the
question.
coat.
Game question. I have proficiency in water vehicles. As I look at this boat,
Yeah.
can I see like holes in the bottom of it, barnacles,
So given you're
anything
proficient in
that's
that,
not ideal.
you don't actually see the signs of where there were possibly some barnacles, but they seem to have been dealt with. The actual vessel is very well maintained. It looks a little beaten up, but it looks used rather than it being an issue, if you understand what I mean with that. Basically, it is very seaworthy. It is actually quite a good vessel, especially for dark tides. A lot of the boats here have a lot of severe issues. There's a few that can only go on the ocean for so many hours before it begins to sink, and they bring it back aboard shore and kind of get
I
the
really
buckets
want to
out
call
and-
this ship the second-hand cock. Just putting it out there. But
God,
please
no.
carry on with our very serious game.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, we could just call it Morning Wood.
Yeah, but morning is in like death.
With the U. Morning with the
Morning
U.
with the- Oh, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool, actually. Yeah,
Ooh.
that's pretty spooky and gothic. Anyway,
Uh-huh.
we'll get to naming the ship later. As it's all good, it's all good. As the gentleman kind of looks around and goes, "But the coast is grave, and as I've said that before, I'll explain why. This
Thank you.
boat comes equipped with a straggler, a person
A what?
whom you must take with you.
It's not you, is it?
No, nay, it's not me.
Right.
I
Oh, good.
have other prior arrangements," he says, and covers his uniform again.
Is Maggie coming with us? Is that what you're saying?
No, Maggie's not coming with you. It's Maggie's not coming with you.
Just one person populates this entire town.
Yeah.
Different hats and wigs.
It's fine. Nobody ever leaves. It's just this one guy.
Anyway, there is a man aboard the ship. They go by the name of Mr. Robinson, he says, and thunder crashes in the distance as always, and he kind of goes, "Thank you, heavens."
Ooh, I'm quaking in my boots.
Hey, he's something dark, he's something evil, from a distant land, a creature of which we have no concept of. He is what he calls an accountant.
Oh,
No.
That's new.
Aye.
Also, you assume that he is, you said, an evil creature from another distant land. Maybe we are too. You know?
Let's not assume. No one's anything. No one has said they're anything. Distant.
Oh, I was
thought,
mostly
terrifying.
talking about
Okay, that's
Maybe
fine.
ye are, and if ye are,
Fine.
that's a good story for me to tell. But the point is, ye may have it if you take Mr. Robinson with you. That is the cost. Aside from that, a pint.
A
Do we
pint
have
of
to
what?
keep him alive?
Pretty much anything.
So
That's
does anybody
also
have
a question.
Does anybody have a tankard on them right now?
Talgrath?
No.
I'd looked at Talgrath or Farah, just like,
No, I don't.
Insight check.
Sure, I'll give you an insight check. Are you deceiving them, Talgrath?
I'm not.
Okay, no problem. So, could you still make me a... Just make me a deception check. Still.
Oh, great.
Just so I can know how... Okay, cool.
15.
So despite the fact that he's not even trying to be deceiving, you think he's lying.
I'll reach into my wader,
Okay.
my boot, just all the way down to like the knee, and I'll pull out a little like hip flask. Like
Okay.
it's a slightly tarnished silver color. It's not a point, but it's good.
Well, it'll do, thank you.
He says, and he takes it and sort of sniffs it and pops it back on.
most famous foot whiskey.
I have heard foot
Nice,
whiskies.
dark. It's very important you serve it warm.
Right. I'll make sure to hit it before. Anyway, in that case, the ship is yours. Ye may name them whatever you wish.
Have you got the ship's deeds?
Oh, hell no, we don't have
Paper.
deeds here or dark tides. You could have
Oh,
probably
yeah.
just
There's
walked
no
down
such thing as
to it.
paper in Dark Tides.
This is practically a ship.
Why are
upon
they
deck.
writing on it then?
That's an import.
Yes. I know,
Alright.
I mean, there's no papers for boats of ownership of sorts. We're pirates. Duh.
Oh, but you can still be a pirate and have class.
Not on dark tides.
Clearly.
All right, so the ship is now ours to command, I suppose.
Goodbye.
He says, and old Murphy disappears. You see him go into, like, he goes behind a box and he kind of changes out and he looks a lot more prim and proper. He's taking his braids out and he's, like, walking off towards his shift at the low tide.
Like some
And you said hello.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll
Prosper
do.
just kind of turns around and goes, goodbye, and
Goodbye.
uses thaumaturgy to make like lightning noise, thunder noises, like, this is appropriate.
Yeah. Freddie kind of looks at you and smiles. He beams, like, he's really happy with that. And he goes,
Hi, goodbye.
he says as he leaves. And then waddles on
Yes.
happily on his day.
It doesn't really work when he's not in. Okay.
Is that, do people do that? Just make noises when they talk? That
Well,
happens
yes,
a lot
that's
around
what
here. It's
talking
very
is.
weird. No, I mean the... Okay.
Yeah. No, the Dark Powers seem to deem it so that drama is at the key of their thoughts within Dark Tides.
Well, how about we go and split off into teams and have a look around this ship, see nothing other than the old Mr. Robinson accountant isn't lurking. Or do you want to hold hands and go together?
I don't want to hold hands.
No, I got that impression.
Good.
Rahimi just walks towards the boat.
Okay, you walk
Yeah.
towards. The plank is already down, like the boarding plank. Basically, you manage to make it aboard, and as you do, it is actually quite a nice boat. Like I said, it's been rained on, but it just needs a good scrubbing. Needs some mopping, maybe.
Is it treated wood?
It is, yes.
Wonderful.
You're good. It's treated. Like generally speaking, it's pretty nice here. It's kind of a dark varnished wood. It's a very sort of beautiful looking ship.
Mahogany.
Mahogany, yes.
Mahogany.
The boat is formed of mahogany.
Oh. I think Rahimi will go below deck. Just to
Yeah,
start.
okay. So going below
Yeah,
deck, Rahimi and Prosper, are you going as well?
Prosper
Cool.
is going below deck just to try and find the accountant so that they know where it is.
You know
but
where to
yeah.
avoid, you mean?
Yeah, Prosper doesn't know what an accountant is, so this is all very, it might as well be a giant squid person. So
Yeah, it might well
they're
be.
going to sneak behind Rahimi, just like, ooh, half-orc shield.
Brilliant stuff. So you begin to explore the lower decks then, and there are a few rooms in here. You do have some areas that you can call lodgings, so to speak. There are places where you could hang hammocks for you all to sleep in, and there's a couple of rooms that are a bit smaller that could possibly use for private quarters or storage. There is also a part of this area as well which is used for primarily storage in the quartermaster, and there is essentially an area where you do see the door slightly open, and you do hear a scratching of a pen on paper. And there is a sort of glowing of a what seems to be a blue lamplight coming from the room.
Hello?
Why?
Mr. Robinson?
Indeed, it is me, Mr. Robinson, and what can I do for you today?
I'm gonna peek in.
You kind of peek in, and you see a very finely dressed gentleman who has a very beautiful-looking kept moustache that is curled and fine, and a bald head and spectacles on. And he looks over and simply goes, "Are you in need of help with numbers or anything else that these other savages cannot deal with? Or may I help you with your taxes, perhaps?"
I'm caught up on my taxes.
Are you sure? There is a specific time in the year in which you must file them, otherwise the government will fine you for it and very much make you accountable.
What's a tax?
I think that you have to pay because they say so.
Yes,
Oh,
the country deems
I
it
don't
that you must pay the
have that.
tax.
But
There is a
no,
lot of paperwork to do. A lot of paperwork.
We were just trying to find where you make lodging here on the ship so that we know where you are and to introduce ourselves. We are the new proprietors of the ship.
I see. Well then, welcome to our vessel, and whatever of you called it since you have regained the vessel. I assume you have the correct papers for the vessel.
Of course we do. Everybody knows there's papers for ships.
Aha, you see I have fooled you. For I have played a ruse upon ye. The papers are here on my desk. I have filed them away properly and alphabetized them. Here.
And I
He
appreciate
says, and he
that
hands
you
it over.
have
It's got a little paperclip on it.
Lovely. I'm going to take this to my other crewmates so we can look over the terms and conditions, and we'll return to you promptly.
I will be here. I'm always here. My shift never ends.
Okay, goodbye.
Is this door locked?
This door does lock.
Okay. Can we lock him in?
Right? It's like just...
Just literally, like, if the key is on the inside, he will literally just see, like, a void hand just reach in and take the key out. And then shut the door and it'll lock.
Yeah, you lock it.
Yeah.
And as you do, the blue light at the bottom that was spilling forth once more as you lock the door, it just stops.
Is there another way out of that room?
I don't know. I'm not willing to go back in and check.
There
but I
is
think
not
we should
another
go.
way out of that room. No, indeed, there is not. Says a voice from
Let's
behind
go,
you.
Prosper.
For you
Good
see.
to know. And just runs back up on deck.
Yeah, no,
Mr.
Rahimi is right
Robinson
behind.
stood in the hallway as you kind of walk past them, and they just kind of follow you with their eyes. I will get back to work, it says as he leaves once more and disappears into the boat. The rest of you, what were you doing whilst all this was going on?
No.
Bless you.
I would have turned to Farah. Do you fancy coming in for a dip, seeing if there's any merfolk, and checking out the bottom of the ship?
Aye, it's best to take a good look before we get too far in the way.
That it is, my dear. Come on. And I'll begin stripping down a little bit.
Yeah, Farah just pulls off her red silk shirt. She don't want to get that shit wet.
No.
And just hat comes off, just puts it down, and just straight off the side of the ship.
Talgrath will
shake out her hair fetchingly from where it's been kept up by her hat. I mean, this is Baywatch. Dark side.
Talgrath will take his hat and cover his face somewhat as he makes his way onto the boat, completely embarrassed.
Oh no, Talgrath, you need to get in, my love. You need a bath.
That's incredibly rude. And no, you ladies have fun doing whatever you're doing.
Oh, don't you want to come for a swim?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Get in before I push you.
You could try.
I will win, my dear.
Silver says you can't.
Oh no.
Deal.
Alright, can you give me contested athletics checks?
Can I rage first?
Yeah.
Sure.
That's cheating.
It's not.
Then, it's
natural ability.
really cheating.
Nat 20.
Oh my god, okay. That is okay, so for context, because the rolls have gone off screen, that was a crit 20 with advantage, of course, from Nala, and then a 10 and a crit 20, the exact same numbers for Talgrath here, but unfortunately doesn't have advantage, so he didn't get his crit. So Talgrath, for a moment, you're like, I've calculated it. You see in the first scene from, you know, the Sherlock Holmes movie with Robert Downey Jr. in it, like, you're basically doing that, and you're just like, left foot, trip, push to side, tumble into water, 100% success. And then you go to make your first move, and immediately, Nala, you just, like, pick him up and throw him in.
Yeah, I stomp on his foot that he's there before picking him up and just throwing him that way. And my eyes sort of die down at that point.
Queen.
I throw it, like, I sort of get my a tiny bar of soap out and just chip it in after him.
Okay. Talgrath, you splash into the water, and then a bar of soap hits you in the side of the head. It smells fragrant. What kind of soap is it?
Oh, it's got to be lavender. Let's get him smelling like a
You've got
granny.
lavender soap.
Hey, I use lavender.
So do I.
Okay.
Grannies unite.
I like my granny smell.
No, no.
Beautiful.
It's a nice
stuff.
smell.
Very calming.
Here on the
Lavender
lavender
is
stream,
leaf
we
spray.
Go sleep.
Team lavender.
See, y'all say lavender is calming, and I'm like, I fucking hate lavender.
that's fair. It makes you angry. You rage when you hear
It
like,
does!
that's fair.
Legit!
Oh,
but-
but come on, Talgrath will smell like a lush, like scrub lavender and sea salt. Would be amazing.
Yeah, lavender and sea salt. Bellissima.
I mean, I'm always here for salty bitches, but you know.
So this is the Bathborn now, apparently, because they were just
Lush porn.
You know what?
Lushborn.
We need to find an island with a spa on it, and then that's it. End of campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your new goal, is it? Anyway, so Talgrath, you've tumbled in. The soap has got you. It smells like lavender. It's beautiful, and that is where you're at, unfortunately.
Go on, scrub up.
He will murmur under himself about a particular person as he does as told, and will swim.
As he's murmuring, I'll just like laugh and just fall into the sea backwards.
Cool. And Farah, what about you?
I do want to add that she also took her boots off because they want to get those things wet.
It's a good
so
choice.
just in her, you know, her trousers and her little wrappings, Swan dives into the sea. And she's gonna actually go and inspect the below the waterline.
Sure.
We'll
Yeah.
dive around.
Cool. Well, if you're going below, then could you please give me a quick perception check on that, just to double check the bottom of the boat as you're doing that dive?
You sure can. Perception? Nope. Not
Okay.
even a little bit.
On a 7. You don't see anything wrong with it. All seems fine. No merfolk here.
Well, that's the main thing, obviously.
Yeah, no mermaids means it's good to go.
She's gonna swim a little way. She actually quite likes swimming. She likes being
Yeah.
in the water.
So you have a lovely
Secret
swim.
mermaid. It's your
How
cover.
dare you? I thought this was love.
Don't know where you were looking, pal.
But it's over now.
It's codependency at this point.
Isn't that the same thing?
Like Pete agrees with this. But anyway. So you have a nice swim. And Nala,
Do I see any fishes?
you do. You see a couple. There's a couple of them that kind of swim about lazily in the water.
Like one little orange and white one and one slightly bigger blue one.
Don't mention the color orange.
That reminds me. She resurfaces. Who is in charge of the food?
This can
Well,
be
I
heard
don't-
over as you two sort of make it back up, by the way.
Okay.
I
you
don't
get us.
think we've decided yet.
There was a mention of food.
Do we have food? I don't have food.
That's a better question.
Oh,
I have a key and, terror, but no food.
right.
Also, I have the ship's papers. Turns out they do exist.
Oh,
I think.
Great.
I didn't actually look through them.
probably might want to do that.
You have a look through. They are beautifully arranged. There are sort of these strange, sticky, colourful notes that have been placed on different things and numbered and notarized in very specific ways, and they are in perfect order. The arrangement is not only satisfying to go through, but ominously creepy.
Just holding the
This is-
key like at an arm's distance away. Just like,
Creepy, like the Dewey Decimal System.
Yeah, basically.
Organized. I've never seen something so easy to just go through, but also so strangely convoluted.
Sounds
So,
like
by the way, Mr. Robinson is in a room below. You will know if you see the blue light. Don't go in, he's creepy.
I locked it.
Oh,
Not sure how well that's going to keep him, from the rest of the ship, but it's a start.
you probably shouldn't keep someone prisoner on a ship.
You haven't met him.
Why not?
Well,
Two kinds of people!
That's a point. Why not?
if they've done something wrong, I don't believe in taking away freedom.
Well, he's
We're
creepy. Is
keeping
that
him
not
safe.
enough?
Meet him.
Give
Right.
them, give her the key, Prosper.
I'll take the key.
Go have a look-see.
1 minute. She's like sort of treading water at the moment. Like you can see like her clothes are on the side, and she's just wearing this like little bralette thing. She's like, 1 second, and she'll dive under. She'll have a look around the ship as well.
Okay, so you look around. Eventually, you do find that door, the quartermaster's door.
What, under the sea?
No, not under the sea. Obviously not.
I'm having a look under the
Oh, you're
boat.
having a look under the boat. I thought you meant like below the
No,
deck.
no.
That's cool. In which case, you have a look under the boat. Can you give me a perception check, please?
Yeah, sure.
All right, you see everything, and you kind of look through, and the bottom of the boat is fine. There is, however, a very small carving of what looks to be a merperson on the bottom of it, like a mermaid sat upon a rock. It's very small.
This bitch was here.
I just
Basically.
grab a bit of passing seaweed and kind of press it in there just in case someone sees it and goes mental and burns the boat. If I can as well, I'll try and basically snag a few fish with some cloth on the way back. Like,
Okay, yeah, you managed to. Yeah, I'll tell you what. With your crit 20, I'll give you 2 fish. You managed to catch 2 snappers.
Dory!
yeah. If I get Marlin and Dory.
Yeah, you get Marlin and
At
Dory.
least they're together, right?
Yeah.
Nemo's
belly.
just somewhere like, "Dad."
On the barbecue. Yeah.
I like kind of
The
The
get it.
Ravenloft
it,
version of
Like
Finding
that.
Nemo is much nastier, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll emerge. I'll get out and get dressed.
Brilliant. So you get dressed, you get yourself sorted, and you go on deck. Do you go below deck to go and meet Mr. Robinson?
Yeah, I'll just sort of sling the bag of two fish over my shoulder and go and find him.
Okay, so you go below deck, and eventually you find the door, and there is no blue light coming from it, but it says quartermaster on it. It's the only one you haven't checked.
I'll turn the key.
You turn the key, and as you turn the key, suddenly the light comes in from the bottom of the doorway and spills out.
All right. Knock knock.
Come in.
Right. She comes in.
And as you step in, you see a very well-arranged quartermaster's office, and you see a gentleman, finely dressed in a suit, sat behind a desk, many papers near him, all neatly arranged, very curled, thick moustache, and a bald head with spectacles on, as he looks over at you and adjusts his tie very neatly with just 2 pulls to the sides, and goes, I assume you are one of the others who has come here for my knowledge, my accounting.
Expertise? No, I just came to meet you.
Brilliant. It is a pleasure to meet you. Have you filed your taxes this year?
Oh, everything's above board.
Good.
Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Robinson, I presume.
Mr. Robinson, yes.
Right. Got a
I'm
first
here to
name?
ensure... Robinson,
Jimmy?
yes.
Patrick? Robinson isn't a first name, come on.
It is both a first name and a last name.
So you're called Mr. Robinson? Of Sons of Robinson, right.
The third in my line.
Oh, brilliant. Nala, pleased to meet you. Hold out a hand.
And I'm pleased to meet you, Nala, he says as he reaches out a hand and grabs it, and it feels incredibly cold as he touches you, and then moves his hand away.
Do you need an extra blanket or something?
No blankets can sate this cold.
Right, cryptic, but also poignant. Good job. No, I don't need any taxing from you, but you're quartermaster, so I'm guessing you're keeping all the inventory on board and everything like that.
I can aid you in keeping your inventory and making sure that pieces are written off as business expenses at the correct point in the year, assuming I do the correct paperwork, which I will.
And no thieving hands will be going through our stock, yes?
No. Oh, thieving hands are not welcome here, miss. Thieving hands are not welcome at all.
I'll place my hand on his shoulder. I think me and you are going to get along just fine.
Yeah, it feels freezing as you do, and he kind of looks at your hand and goes, very well. If you need me, I shall be here, for my shift never ends.
Right. Do you need food?
No.
Great. Have a good one. She gives him a salute and just walks out.
I will.
Oh, yeah. What's that creepy weird blue light under your door?
And as you look back, like, he's gone.
Can we just appreciate that every time Hollow speaks as Mr. Robinson, it's
Yeah,
I
yeah.
need to do the eyebrow movement.
White to the eyes.
It is
Yeah, just-
imperative.
Expressive.
See how I can become Robinson, okay?
Method.
What does not...
Come on.
Yeah, exactly. A
Don't
method acting.
question the
this.
process. Don't
No.
question the
I was
process.
just appreciating it really because it's like it's how you know he's Robinson in that moment. Because
Yeah.
it's never
I know,
ends.
it's unnerving. Like, I want to retreat into the wall. Just like, no,
I
no,
appreciate
no, no.
it.
Brilliant. And with that, Nala, as you make your way back up...
I'm having a think.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm having a think. Feels cold. Disappeared for no reason.
Yes.
Bit weird.
You could say-
Ghost?
Oh,
Maybe.
my long lost brother. You never know.
Alright, homie. There.
Frost is like, you're stealing my shtick.
I
You're
am...
doing it better than me.
They call me a void tiefling. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, I might
No,
avoid
you have a
that
mustache.
evening.
I don't know. You have a mustache.
Kid, he's an
Yeah.
avoid tiefling, though. He's like, you
Yeah.
need to avoid him. Like, his horns are his mustache.
Oh my god.
Anyway, but seriously, yeah, as you make your... You kind of get an idea they might be some sort of lingering spirit. Ghosts are known of. Terrifying, but known of.
I'll go and find the rest. See what they're doing.
Having done taxes, I can fully believe this is a haunting spirit.
Yeah.
Like, that shit stays with you and is scarring.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's got the rest of his undead life to do it as well. What a horrible fate.
Indeed. But yeah,
That is the cursed one.
yeah, that is the real curse of this story. The curse of Robinson. But
Robinson.
Death
Oh.
and Taxes by Mr. Robinson.
he's
The
working on it.
third.
The third
Son
in
of
his
Robinson.
life.
Robinson. Son of Robinson. Robinson.
Yeah, basically. I'm glad you understand the lineage of Mr. Robinson. It's an important part of this game, and it's an important facet that we all need to memorize.
Presumably his mother was Mrs. Robinson, which is a whole separate issue.
Yes, Roberta Robinson.
But here's to her for birthing Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
Yeah.
But on a serious note, you make it up, and as you make it back up to your deck, you look out, and the ocean awaits you. All you need now is some simple supplies, the rest of your crew to be gathered from the bars, and you can set sail.
And a name for the ship.
Name. So to sign off this session, what do you want to name your ship?
I think
I've always liked Boaty McBoatface myself.
Oh my god.
I mean, it is a good name, but it is overused, I think.
Talgrath
That's
has
true.
a
I've been on at
suggestion.
least 4.
Go on then, Talgrath.
With our mighty picture of a glorious animal on the front, I would suggest Morning Glory. Because
You're
cocks
not.
rise in the morning and are glorious creatures.
Whatever floats your boat, as they say.
I am in agreement with Morning Glory. It's a beautiful flower.
Fits well with my
Roosters
religion.
taste nice.
So, sure. Morning Glory. Farah?
I was to say, has anybody seen Farah?
Farah?
Is she still? Is she coming with us?
Don't think she needs a boat.
Is the bird still here?
I
Yeah,
assume-
Pete's on the side. He's just kind of sat there. He just kind of looks over to you.
Under
We do need
the
to get
briny
food.
waves, oblivious to this conversation, Farah reaches down to her waist and pulls up this clamshell, complete clamshell, and she opens it up and listens.
Okay.
Ring, 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 ring. Sharpish phone.
No problem.
Flamaphone.
And you do so, and you hear the secret that hits your ear that none of them yet know. The secret
Called
of
an
the
oyster and it feels like phlegm.
So,
And she closes it up and removes.
Oh, there you are, dear. Name, ship, Morning Glory?
Aye! Sure!
okay.
Got tea? Waves the bag of
Aye.
fish.
And with that, we will call today's session, I think. Because that's a good point to call our session 0. We're ready to set off and get ready to sail. In between this, you'll have gotten some food and supplies ready for your voyage, and you'll have gathered your crew together. Very interesting characters to come. And of course, you'd have got your equipment ready, which we can discuss as well in the week to come. So, next week, we'll be kicking off with some the next part of this. We'll see where you all fancy going. We'll see what you find out there in the mists of the endless ocean. And thank you very much everybody for playing. So we'll go around, let us know, where we can find you online. Let us know if you're working on anything cool. And yeah, let me know your favorite moment of the session, or your favorite pun, or both. And we'll start with the same order. Charlie, FrostFrmFire, thanks for playing.
I love the moment when Nala had the note and we were all just randomly appearing in the same scene and Talgrath was in the barrel. It was so beautiful. I'm so excited to get to play with this crew, and thank you, Hollow, for running this and tolerating what is going to be quite the adventure, quite the trip. But super excited and ready to set sail. As for me, you can find me at FrostFrmFire on the Twitters. I have a pinned tweet which has my full schedule, and it is a very busy schedule. I will be back here on Saturday, though, with Unhallowed Metropolis in the 12 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. UK slot. That's Britannia by Gaslight. I finally get to come back and play Lady Faye Dunmire. There's a werewolf in the back of this union building. I'm not entirely sure what it is. And yeah, that's all kicking off. I'm next playing though on Wednesday. I have a double bill on Wednesdays. We are playing Cult on Encounter Roleplay, and after that at 8 p.m. Eastern on Tales from the Grim, we're playing May Black Roses Bloom. And I may have just gone running and starting a fight with a red dragon that's really, really big, ridden by Lord Soth. And there's undead dragons there too. And it's a whole I'm probably gonna die. So if you want to see me in another grey wig with a beard, doing another voice that's very questionable, join us on Wednesday for that.
Awesome stuff. And yeah, that sounds like a bad time. Like Lord Soth is already a bad time, but adding the rest of them is just a bit much. But yeah, thank you very much for playing. It's been awesome to have you as usual. And of course, our brilliant Rahimi.
Oh, thank you. This is, oh my goodness, I am super excited about this game because this crew is definitely something else. I think my favorite moment was probably Prosper just hiding in the armoire. Just like, I'm all about the shy, dark bean. But yeah, you can find me pretty much everywhere under the username Banjalerp. And if you guys are going to, if anybody, I suppose, is going to be in Edmonton next month from the 9th through the 11th, I will be at Animathon, table A86. So come say hello. Otherwise, this is where you'll just see me online unless I'm streaming my own art stuff. So
Sounds awesome. And yeah, thank you very much for playing as usual. You had some interesting puns there. It was awesome to hear your Rahimi voice as well. It's a pleasure to have you in the crew. So, speaking of a pleasure to have in the crew, F91 Vanguard, Talgrath.
Oh yes, that would be me. Yeah, I'm Dan. You can find me on Twitter at F91 Vanguard. Not really too much of a presence on there. Post every now and again. But I am looking to actually start streaming games again at some point soon, hopefully. As for my favourite bit of tonight's session, it's either going to be the meeting of Prosper and Rahimi and how awkward that was and delightful, or just Rahimi's inability to keep one accent.
look, okay, I really love doing the Scottish accent, and now that there's like a Scottish person in the party, and then the DM's got all these Scottish NPCs, I'm like,
I was like, I'm going to try and throw you through a loop. But yeah, thank you very much for playing. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you actually get some streams going. So yeah, definitely looking forward to those. And of course, our brilliant Void Tiefling, good old Prosper. Thank you for playing.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Shaksqueer. I'm in a Tuesday night game over on Penflower Inc.'s channel, which is twitch.tv/Penflower. I'm doing a finale this Thursday for the game I've been playing on Scraticus Academy, which is an all-monster campaign, which is just, I'm playing a sentient ooze. It's brilliant. He's basically like an armchair-sized blob of marmalade. So the finale for that is on Thursday. I'm very excited. My favourite bit, it has to be Nala just being like, "This is your job interview. Punch me in the face."
Yeah, I love that. I love that so much.
effective. She went full Joker.
Punch
Just
me in the face. Into the water you go. Just like.
It'll toughen up eventually, it's fine.
Also, the whole bread scene.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Much
there
bread.
hasn't been such an amazing bread scene since the beginning of Les Mis. It's just beautiful.
All right, cool. Well, we have more bread scenes to follow up that.
So
You'll find out
excited for
soon.
this campaign.
And okay, so
Let's get this bread.
so happy for that, and thank you for playing. It's a pleasure to have you here, and Prosper is awesome. I absolutely love it. It's
I'm
brilliant.
really excited to be here. This is such a great crew.
Good. Yeah, I love it. It's awesome stuff. But rather than fawning over my group, which I'll do after offline, Nala, Humbledore, thank you for playing.
Hey, so like Mr. Robinson, I'm a ghost online. I am not a online personality whatsoever. Though if you've ever read fan fiction, you might have read something I've written somehow. That's about it. But I'm not telling you my name because it's like super embarrassing, and why would I ever want to do that? But favorite moment, yeah, actually again, ghost. Just seeing Prosper and Rahimi just crap themselves and freak out. Music to my soul. Loved it.
Brilliant.
There's gonna be a lot of that.
Oh yeah.
they're gonna be the two like 5 foot like whatever scared beans of.
It's gonna be like
the crew.
Scooby and Shaggy. Just
Prosper's 6'5".
Oh, never mind. Sorry, it's Nala that's also 5'11". That's
Yeah,
my
It was
bad.
literally Scooby.
Yeah, I was gonna say you literally
Oh
are Scooby
my
and Shaggy.
we're the Scooby gang.
Yoink, Scoob.
Yoink, Scoob.
Roll.
Drinkies! How do you do that in a pirate accent?
You're jinky.
What?
Oh, that's good.
Brilliant. Right, okay, but with that in mind, thank you for playing. It's been a pleasure to have you all here. Thank you for watching, those of you that have tuned in, and if you're still with us, we'll see you again next week. Same time, same place for the next episode of Mistborne, where we will start riding out into the lack of sunset with the morning glory. So, until then, I will see you here on Saturday for Unhallowed Metropolis, and yeah, you've been brilliant. Thank you, and goodbye.